Good morning, Stampers. Happy Tuesday. Another episode of Stamp Your Stash. And in case you're wondering what Stamp Your Stash is, I am mixing retired or past product with new product because we need to use what we've already purchased, right? So that's what I'm doing. So you can take my idea and use whatever stamps, paper, inks, whatever you have to create your own fun card or project. So let's see, I have something new to tell you. Stampin' Up! Sent out our weekly update this morning, and it said that tomorrow they are going to put some stamp sets on the clearance rack. And I guess, I'm fairly new. I've only been doing Stampin' Up! Since January. So, they said that rarely, if ever, do they put stamp sets on the clearance rack, so it's kind of a big deal. And there was a list, and it was a pretty sizable list of what they're putting on the clearance rack. And I noticed by the titles of some of the sets that there are Christmas stamps and Halloween stamps in the mix. It's not just all holiday stuff, but there were those in the mix. So if you are looking to do some Christmas in July stamping, you might check that out. So yeah, that starts tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and get my phone mounted. Let me see if I've got this up on my iPad yet so I can bring it up there. That always takes me a second to do. I think I have it. Okay, so when you come on, please tell me hello so I know that you're there. And I'm going to go ahead and put my phone in the mount and get going. Okay, I think I got it. And it looks like I can see comments if anybody makes any, so we can get going. So if you want to check out that clearance sale, like I said, there's stuff in there now, but starting tomorrow there'll be stamp sets. This is the address to my shopping site. And if you place an order under $150, go ahead and use that code. You won't have to remember this because I always put it in on the landing page there of my shopping page, so you'll find it there also. If you were to spend $150 or more, you would be your own hostess and earn all the rewards for that directly to you. So there's that. Okay, so what I am playing with today is the Hello Cupcake set, which was just recently a celebration set. So this isn't one you can purchase anymore, but if you have it in your stash, I'll have an idea for you today of what to do with it. If you don't, and you have some other cupcake set or whatever, then here's an idea of a card to make with that. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so we're going to use that. And the other past or retired item that I'm using is the Birthday Bash designer paper, and I love this paper. It's got, can you see the gold in it? A lot of the papers in here have that gold in it, but I love the balloon paper and the confetti. They're two of my favorite. Now, I don't know, I've had this paper for a while, so I don't know if this was from, I don't know when this was from. If this was a, like, something in one of their special little catalogs, if it was in an annual catalog. like I said, I've had the paper for a while, so you may or may not have it in your stash as well. And then I'm going to use stitched shape framelits. Now this is a current product. Also the layering squares, which is a current product. And the new In Color Designer Series paper. This is a 6x6 pad and has papers in all of the new In Color colors. So I'm going to be using that. I'm also going to be using the new Noble Peacock rhinestones, and they are just gorgeous. Love them. All right, let's get started. So my base card is going to be just white. So it is Whisper White. I always want to call it another name. So yeah, Whisper White. And then I'm going to do a black layer here. And then the fun balloon paper from that designer series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the base of the card put together. That's always kind of my starting point, I guess. I don't know why. It's just the habit I have of, I like to get that part done and ready for what I consider the fun part, and that is decorating it. So it's just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 A2 size card. And I cut this layer down 1/8 of an inch because I just wanted a little border there. And then I cut this down another 1/8 of an inch. So this piece is 4 by 5. Let's see. So we've got 4 by 5 1/4. What you growling at, Toddy? Always makes me nervous when the dogs growl, since we're back in my stamp room. It's raining here where I live today. I woke up to hearing the raindrops on the roof, and I guess I haven't looked at the weather report lately, but it surprised me a bit to know that it was raining, I guess. Okay, so there is that. So now that part is ready. And actually, I can go ahead and put this piece on there too. So this is what I cut out of the designer series paper, the In Colors. That's the back side. And I love this writing. And I used, which one did I use? I used the stitched shape framelits to do that. And in that set is 4 different shapes that you get. You get ovals, circles, and squares. And they all have that stitching on them. I love that. I think that's a really good value. And it's a great set to just have in your stash because you get all those different shapes and sizes. Okay, so I can go ahead and put that on. I'm just going to use my tape gun. I don't really know why they call this tape on here because it's really not tape. It's a glue. And I am just going to put it there. Oops. All right, now let me get into the stamps. I'm going to build a cupcake here. So I'll start with the cupcake paper. Oh, I didn't mention what colors I'm using. Might help if I put the stamp on the right way. Okay, so the colors I'm using are all current colors. I'm using Early Espresso, Real Red, Bermuda Bay, and the new Terracotta Tile, which is the new in color. And I thought that this color went really well with this paper because look, there's a shade in it right there. And that's probably an old, maybe in color that they don't have anymore, but it's really super close to this terracotta tile. So that is what I'm using for the cupcake paper. And I'm just going to put it right about there because I'm going to stamp this and then I'm going to cut it out with one of the dies from the layering squares. And I'm going to make this a chocolate cupcake. Did I get ink on me? No. So I'm going to use Early Espresso for the chocolate cupcake part. And you can kind of see there's points, so it kind of tells you where to line up the stamp. So there's the chocolate cake, yummy. And now the frosting. And I think I will bring in this bigger block here for this. And I'm going to make this cupcake with Bermuda Bay frosting. So when you eat it, your lips will be that color. I always think about that when I see that dark blue frosting on cakes. You know what your mouth is going to look like if you eat that. Okay, let me see if I can get this frosting on here. Yummy! That is so cute. Okay, I love that cupcake design. Now I'm going to use the little heart pick and decorate that cupcake up just a touch. And I'm going to use Real Red for that. And just put it right about there. There we go. So yeah, it's just drizzly today. Feels more like a winter day. But I'm going to go to lunch with a friend this afternoon, so that'll be fun. Get out of the house a bit. All right, now let me bring out my layering squares. I've already used one of the dies and cut out this piece that I'm going to layer under the cupcake but I need to cut 2 more squares. And so let me make sure. I think it's this. Nope, that one's too big. So is it this one? I don't know, it seems like it was this one. I think that is the one, because just the edge needs to show. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out with this one. Will only take me a second here. Okay, I got that piece, and so while I'm doing this, I will go ahead and cut my Bermuda Bay layer, because I'm going to layer that behind the black. So let me do that. Okay. Yep, looks good. All right. So you see how many dies you get in this set. It is, well, we could count them, but anyway, it's a lot of dies. And I love the scalloped edge ones. Those are so cute. So I think there's 4 of each, so that's 16 dies. All right, I'm going to, I'm looking to see, no, I didn't know if there was stitching on those. There's not. So I'm going to glue this one flat down to the Bermuda. I don't know why that word is so hard to say. Bermuda Bay. There we go. And this one I'm going to pop up with some dimensionals. When I stamp cupcakes, it makes me want a cupcake. Oops, what am I doing? I don't want that there. I want it down there. There we go. Got them all off of there. Okay, here we go. Now, because of the sizes I did, really all that shows pretty much around this is just the little scallops. If I can get it on there straight. And now I can go ahead, since my card's ready, and put it right on there. Okay. Now we need a greeting, so I am going to use the Sweet Wishes. And I'm going to bring back Early Espresso and stamp the greeting with that. That will just pop back out with the chocolate cupcake. And then I'm going to use, oh, I forgot to mention this too. I think this is called Pretty Punch. It's currently in the catalog, and I really love the design of this. And so let's see here. There we have that. And then I want a border around it, so I am going to punch one out in black here. There we go. Did I clean that? I don't know if I did, but there it goes. And I will just do this piece and it will be done. So there. All right, let me grab some scissors. So to achieve a border around that, since it's the same size, you need to cut this one in half. And I am going to bring my little silicone mat in. I love this thing. If you don't have one, you need one. They just are great when it comes to using adhesives and keeping your area clean, and then you can just wash it off or wait for the glue to dry, whatever you're using. It even works really well if you use things like crystal lacquer, that kind of stuff. That stuff all comes right off of this thing. Okay, so I've got my piece cut in half there. All I have to do is just put this on where I want it. And I'm going to put it right about there. And then for me it's easier to just turn it around so I can do the same thing on the other side. See how that looks. Pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this piece up too, and I'm going to layer it over here, so I want to make sure I don't put my dimensionals on this side, because then it would pop it up way too much, and that's because there's dimensionals under that piece. But because I don't want this to get caught up on anything when they're pulling it in and out of envelopes or whatever, I am going to go ahead and put just a little bit of adhesive there. And then this is going to go over here. Like that. Now I'm going to bring in Wink of Stella, and I'm going to sparkle up the frosting on the cupcake. And you want to be just a little bit careful when you do this, because it will blend that ink ever so slightly. So just put it in the areas that you want it. Like if you don't want color to be outside of your line, make sure when you're putting this on that you don't go outside of your line. There we go. And I better clean that off of my brush tip. And then I'm going to bring in those gorgeous noble peacock rhinestones. One there, there, there. When you're embellishing things, it's always best to do it in groups, odd groups, so 3, 5, whatever, 1. It just is more pleasing to the eye that way for some reason. Okay, so there is our Stamp Your Stash card today using older product with current product. I think it turned out cute, and here's my sample, which is just the same. So I hope I have inspired you to dig into your stash and get to stamping. Don't forget about that clearance sale with stamps starting tomorrow that I told you about. Again, here's my website. If you would like to visit, I would appreciate it. If you want to share my video here, that would be wonderful. I can always use the help in that way. And I thank you so much for joining me. I will be back on, well, I don't know if I'll be live on Friday because we're going to have company. Our friends are coming. But I will try to get a video done and get it posted for 2 o'clock on Friday. So see you again then, and thanks for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.